My girlfriend spat in my face when I proposed on Christmas, sneering, "This ring is as pathetic as you." I ended things on the spot. Now she's begging me to come back. She spat in my face, actual spit, right in my face, on Christmas, in front of my entire family. I was on one knee, holding a $6,500 ring. My hands were shaking. My mom had tears in her eyes. Everyone was smiling. And Maya, the woman I'd supported for 2 years, the woman I'd just asked to marry me, looked at the ring like it was a dead rat and said, "This ring is as tiny and pathetic as you." Then she leaned forward and spat. My mom gasped. My dad half stood from his chair. My brother shouted something I couldn't hear through the ringing in my ears. I stayed on one knee for what felt like an hour, but was probably 3 seconds. The spit was warm on my cheek, running down toward my jaw. The ring box was still open in my hand, the diamond catching the Christmas lights. Everything felt underwater, muffled, wrong. Maya wasn't done. Jessica's boyfriend gave her a 3-carat ring. 3 carats? He has actual class. But you? She laughed, sharp, cruel. "You're cheap. You're embarrassing me with this sad little ring in front of everyone." I slowly stood up, grabbed my napkin, wiped the spit from my face. My voice came out calmer than I expected. "We're done. Get your stuff and get out of my apartment." She laughed again. "Good, because I've been fucking Derek for 5 months anyway. My personal trainer. He's more of a man than you'll ever be. He doesn't nickel and dime me like you do. You're boring, and I only stayed for the free rent." Every word was a knife, and she smiled the whole time. "I'm Ryan Mitchell, 28 years old, work in digital marketing for a healthcare company. Make about $85,000 a year in a mid-sized city, where that goes pretty far. 2 years ago, I met Maya at a coffee shop 3 blocks from my apartment, Harper's Coffee, corner of 5th and Madison. I was there on a Saturday morning working on a freelance project. She was in line ahead of me ordering some complicated oat milk latte. She turned around and we made eye contact. Stunning. Long dark hair, green eyes, this smile that made you forget your own name. "You look like you need better coffee than this place makes," she said. I laughed. "It's not that bad. It's objectively terrible, but the Wi-Fi is good, and they don't kick you out for camping all day." We ended up sitting together, talking for 3 hours. She was funny, charming, easy to talk to in a way most people aren't. She'd just left her job at an upscale salon. "Creative differences with the owner," she said. "I'm figuring out my next move. Freelance makeup maybe, or product photography. I'm good with visual stuff." We exchanged numbers, started seeing each other. By month 2, she was sleeping over most nights. By month 4, she'd basically moved in. "I can help with rent once I get some steady clients," she said. "Just give me a few months to get established." "Don't worry about it," I told her. "Focus on building your business. We'll figure it out." Except we never figured it out. 2 years went by and I was covering everything. Rent, $1,850 a month. Utilities, about $200. Groceries, $400, $500. Her car insurance, $140. Nights out, new clothes. Her gym membership at $89 a month. She'd pick up occasional freelance makeup gigs. A wedding here, a photo shoot there, maybe $200 to $300 every few weeks. Never contributed a dime to household expenses. Whenever I'd bring it up, gently, carefully, she'd turn it around. "Are you saying I'm not pulling my weight?" "No, I'm just saying maybe we could split groceries or..." "So you want me to feel bad for not making as much money as you? You're being controlling. Real partners don't keep score." "I'm not keeping score. I just think we should talk about finances. You're making me feel worthless, like I'm some burden you're carrying. Is that what you think of me?" And I'd backpedal, apologize, tell her I didn't mean it that way. So I just kept paying and kept quiet. The first real red flag came about 8 months in. We were at a dinner party at her friend Jessica's place. Jessica worked in pharmaceutical sales, made good money, had a nice downtown loft. Jessica's boyfriend, some finance bro named Garrett, was showing off a watch he'd just bought, Rolex Submariner, $11,000. "That's gorgeous," Maya said. Her voice had this edge I'd never heard before, hungry. Later in the car, she said, "You could pull off a watch like that. A Rolex? That's like 3 months of rent. So? You make decent money. You should dress like it. Garrett's impressive. You dress like, I don't know, middle management." I laughed it off, but the comment stuck. Second red flag was about a year in. Her friend Jessica got engaged. Garrett had proposed with a 3-carat diamond ring. Princess cut, platinum band, probably $30,000. Maya came home from seeing Jessica and wouldn't stop talking about the ring. Showed me photos, compared settings, talked about clarity and cut quality. "When you propose," she said casually, "I'd want something like that. Not exactly the same, but that quality level. I'm not high maintenance, but I have standards." My stomach dropped. "Maya, that ring probably cost more than I make in 4 months. So, start saving. Unless you're not serious about us." "I'm serious, then it shouldn't be a problem." She kissed me and changed the subject. Third red flag was about 18 months in. I found out she'd opened a credit card in my name. Nothing major, $200 balance, but she'd used my social security number without asking. "I needed to buy some equipment for a photo shoot," she explained. "It was urgent and my cards were maxed. I was going to tell you, you can't open credit cards in someone else's name. That's illegal." "Oh my God, you're being so dramatic. I'll pay it off. It's fine." She never paid it off. I did. In 3 months of extra shifts and skipped lunches, but I told myself it was a mistake, that she didn't understand how credit worked, that she'd learn. I was an idiot. By year 2, I knew things weren't right, but I loved her, or I thought I did, or I was too stubborn to admit I'd wasted 2 years. I started thinking about about proposing. Marriage would change things, I told myself. It would give us that next level of commitment, maybe motivate her to be a real partner, to contribute, to build something together. So I started saving, cut my lunch budget from $12 a day to homemade sandwiches, canceled Netflix, Spotify, Hulu, stopped going out with coworkers after work, lived bare minimum. It took 3 months to save $6,500. I went to Bennett's Jewelry on a Tuesday afternoon in November. The jeweler, Henry Bennett, third-generation jeweler, 32 years in business, walked me through options. For your budget, I can do a beautiful white gold band with a 0.75 carat center stone. Excellent clarity. Nice fire. It'll photograph well. Is that enough? I asked, feeling stupid. I mean, is that a good ring? Henry smiled kindly. Son, a good ring is one you can afford. This is a beautiful piece. Any woman should be honored to wear it. I bought it. Felt the weight of it in my pocket for 2 weeks. The little velvet box. The biggest purchase I'd ever made besides my car. I decided to propose on Christmas at my parents' house. My whole family would be there. Mom, Dad, my older sister Natalie and her husband Greg, my younger brother Marcus. Maya loved my family. Or seemed to. She always got along with my mom, laughed at my dad's terrible jokes, played video games with Marcus. It would be perfect. A moment we'd all remember forever. Christmas Day started normal. We drove to my parents' house at 11:23 a.m. Mom's place was decorated like a Hallmark movie. Lights everywhere, tree in the corner, stockings, the smell of cinnamon and pine. Maya brought a pie she'd bought at Whole Foods, took credit for baking it. My mom complimented her, and Maya glowed. Dinner was at 5 p.m. Mom made her famous prime rib with horseradish sauce, garlic mashed potatoes, green beans, rolls, everything perfect. We ate, laughed. My dad told his story about the time he got stuck in a chimney as a kid, trying to prove Santa wasn't real. We'd heard it 100 times. Still funny. After dinner, we had pie and coffee. Everyone was relaxed, happy, full. Marcus was showing Maya photos from his semester abroad. Natalie was telling Mom about her new job promotion. Dad was half asleep in his chair. Perfect moment. I stood up at 7:43 p.m. Hey everyone, can I have your attention for a second? The table went quiet. Everyone looked at me. My hands were shaking as I pulled out the ring box from my pocket. I could see my mom's eyes go wide. Natalie grabbed Greg's hand. I walked around the table to where Maya was sitting, got down on one knee. The room was completely silent except for the crackling fire in the living room fireplace. I looked up at Maya, tried to remember the speech I'd practiced in my car. Maya, we've been together for 2 years. You've made me happier than I knew I could be. I want to build a life with you. I want to wake up next to you every day for the rest of my life. Will you marry me? I opened the box. The diamond caught the light. It really was beautiful. Henry had been right. Maya's smile vanished. She stared at the ring. Her face went from surprise to confusion to something that looked like disgust. Are you serious right now? She said. The room stayed frozen. I thought maybe she was overwhelmed, emotional. Maya, she looked at the ring again, actually wrinkled her nose like it smelled bad. This ring is tiny and pathetic, just like you. My mom gasped. Dad sat up straight. I stayed on my knee, confused, brain not processing what was happening. Maya kept going, voice getting louder, angrier. Jessica's boyfriend gave her a 3-carat ring. 3 carats. He has actual class. But you? She laughed. You're cheap. You're embarrassing me with this sad little ring in front of everyone. Did you even try? Or did you just pick the cheapest thing they had? I saved for 3 months. You make $85,000 a year, and you give me this? She gestured at the ring like it was trash. You're pathetic. You've always been pathetic. You nickel and dime me constantly, make me feel guilty for buying anything. And now you propose with this insult. I was still kneeling, still holding the box. My brain had stopped working. That's when she leaned forward and spat in my face. Actual spit, right in my face. In front of my parents and siblings on Christmas. My mom screamed. Marcus jumped up from his chair. What the fuck? I slowly stood up, grabbed my napkin from the table, wiped the spit from my cheek. My voice came out steady, calm, like someone else was speaking through me. We're done. Get your stuff and get out of my apartment. Maya laughed. Actually laughed. Good. I've been waiting for an excuse to leave. Then she looked around the table at my family, all staring at her in horror. You want to know the truth? She said. I've been fucking Derek for 5 months. My personal trainer. He's more of a man than Ryan will ever be. He doesn't nickel and dime me like some accountant. He actually knows how to treat a woman. She stood up, grabbed her coat from the back of her chair. Ryan's boring. You're all boring. I only stayed for the free rent and free food, but I'm done now. She looked at my mom, smiled sweetly. Thanks for dinner, Susan. The prime rib was excellent. Then she walked out. The front door slammed at 7:51 p.m. Nobody spoke for about 30 seconds. Then my mom burst into tears. Dad put his arm around her. Natalie came around the table and hugged me. Ryan, I'm so sorry. That was horrible. I'm fine, I said. I wasn't fine, but I said it anyway. Marcus was red-faced. I'm going to find her. I'm going to— No. My voice came out sharp. Just leave it. She's gone. It's done. I sat back down at the table, looked at the ring box still in my hand, closed it, put it in my pocket. I'm sorry, I said to everyone. I ruined Christmas. You didn't ruin anything, Dad said quietly. She did. I left at 8:34 p.m., drove home in complete shock. The roads were empty. Christmas lights blurred past. I kept replaying it, the spit hitting my face, her voice saying, pathetic, the look of disgust. Got home at 9:17 p.m., walked into my apartment, our apartment. Except it wasn't ours anymore. anymore. Her makeup was all over the bathroom counter, her clothes in the closet, her shoes by the door, her books on the shelves. 2 years of her life tangled up with mine. I started packing. I spent the entire night packing everything Maya owned into garbage bags, every piece of clothing, every makeup product, every book and photo and random piece of junk she'd accumulated. 13 garbage bags by 3:47 a.m. I dragged them all down to the parking lot, piled them in the snow next to the dumpster. Then I went back inside and texted her at 4:23 a.m. "Your stuff is in the parking lot. You have until noon to pick it up. After that, I'm donating everything." No response. At 7:45 a.m., I called a locksmith. Rodriguez Lock and Key, emergency holiday service, cost me $280, but they came out by 9:30 a.m. and changed my locks. By 10:15 a.m., I was sitting in my apartment with new keys, 13 bags of Maya's life sitting in the snow 3 stories below. At 11:47 a.m., I watched from my window as a black Mercedes pulled into the parking lot. Maya got out of the passenger side. A guy got out of the driver's side, tall, gym bro build, expensive leather jacket, had to be Derek. They walked toward the pile of garbage bags. Maya was pointing up at my window, saying something to Derek. He looked up, saw me watching, started walking toward my building. Oh hell no. I met him in the lobby. "Where is she?" he demanded, voice trying to be intimidating. "Who? Don't play games. Maya, where's her stuff?" "In the parking lot where I told her it would be. Take it and leave." He stepped closer, trying to crowd me. "You don't get to throw her out like trash." "I didn't throw her out. She left after spitting in my face on Christmas. But sure, I'm the bad guy here. You're a fucking loser, dude. She told me all about you. Cheap, controlling, pathetic. And yet she lived rent-free in my apartment for 2 years. Interesting definition of pathetic." His face went red. He shoved my shoulder. "You want to say that again?" I stepped back. Not because I was scared, because parking lots in winter are slippery as hell, and I knew where this was going. "Just take her stuff and leave," I said calmly. He came at me again, aggressive, puffed up. I sidestepped. His expensive dress shoes had zero traction on the wet lobby floor. His momentum carried him forward. He tried to catch himself, failed, went down hard, face first into the floor, got up red-faced, ego more bruised than his face, stormed back outside without saying anything. I watched from the window as they loaded what they could fit into the Mercedes, took about 7 bags, left 6 behind. They drove off at 12:34 p.m. I donated the rest to Goodwill that afternoon. The next 3 months were rough. I threw myself into work, picked up extra projects, stayed late, avoided going home because being in the apartment reminded me of her. My mom called every few days. "How are you doing?" "Fine." "Ryan, I'm fine, Mom." "Really?" I wasn't fine, but I didn't want to talk about it. Natalie came over with groceries one Saturday. "You look like shit." "Thanks. I'm serious. When's the last time you ate something that wasn't takeout?" "I don't know. Tuesday?" She made me pasta. We sat on my couch and watched The Office reruns. "She was awful," Natalie said. "We all knew it. We just didn't want to say anything." "You knew?" "Ryan, she talked about money constantly, always comparing you to other people's boyfriends, always hinting about expensive things she wanted. We could all see it. Why didn't anyone say anything? Would you have listened? Probably not." 3 months and 2 weeks after Christmas, I met Rachel. We'd worked together for about a year, different departments, marketing and sales. We'd been friendly, but not close. She stopped by my desk on a Tuesday at 2:47 p.m. "Hey, some of us are getting drinks after work. You should come." "I don't know. You've been turning down every invitation for 3 months. 1 drink, then you can go home and be miserable alone." I laughed. First real laugh in months. "Fine, 1 drink." We went to Murphy's bar on 5th Street. 6 people from work. Rachel ended up sitting next to me. We talked for 3 hours. She was funny, easy to talk to, genuine in a way I'd forgotten people could be. "I heard about your Christmas," she said carefully. "I'm really sorry." "Who told you?" "Marcus works in IT. He told half the building." "Of course he did. For what it's worth, the consensus is that she's awful and you dodged a bullet." "Doesn't feel like it." "It will, eventually." We started seeing each other, casually at first, then more seriously. Rachel was different from Maya in every way. She had a job, paid her own bills, split checks, never made me feel guilty for not spending money on her. "I like you for you," she said one night over pizza. "Not your wallet." By month 4, she was staying over a few nights a week. By month 6, we were talking about moving in together. "I need to be really clear about something," I told her. "I'm not ready to propose. After what happened, Ryan, we've been dating for 6 months. Nobody's expecting a proposal. I just want to make sure we're on the same page about finances and contributions, and you want to make sure I'm not using you." "I didn't say that. You didn't have to." She took my hand. "I have a job I love. I pay my own bills. I don't need someone to take care of me. I just want a partner. Someone who shows up and treats me with respect." That's it. I believed her. 10 months after Christmas, there was a knock at my door at 7:23 p.m. on a Tuesday. Rachel was over. We were watching the Great British Bake Off and eating Thai food. I looked through the peephole. My heart dropped. Maya, standing in the hallway, holding a plate of cookies, smiling like nothing had ever happened. "Who is it?" Rachel asked from the couch. "Nobody. Just stay here." I didn't open the door. "What do you want, Maya?" "Ryan, hi. I made cookies. I wanted to apologize for how things ended. You need to leave. Can we just talk for 5 minutes? I miss you." "Maya, you have a restraining order. You're not supposed to be here." 6 weeks after Christmas, she'd shown up drunk at 2 a.m. pounding on my door, screaming about how Derek had dumped her, how I was the only good man she'd ever known, how she'd made a mistake. I'd called the police. She'd been escorted out. I'd filed for a restraining order. Judge granted it for 1 year. She was supposed to stay at least 100 yards away. The restraining order is just a misunderstanding, Maya said through the door. We can work this out. Is everything okay? Rachel called from inside. The second Maya heard another woman's voice, everything changed. The sweet mask dropped. Her voice went sharp, vicious. Who the fuck is that? Maya, leave or I'm calling the cops. You moved on already? You asshole! She started pounding on the door. I supported you for 2 years. You lived rent-free in my apartment for 2 years. I loved you! You spat in my face on Christmas! She started screaming, calling me every name imaginable. The cookies hit my door, hard, like rocks. My neighbor Steve opened his door. What the hell? A cookie flew past his head, hit the wall behind him, left a dent. I'm calling the police, Steve yelled. Maya started throwing cookies faster. At my door, at Steve's door, at the walls. Rachel came to the door, stood behind me. Ryan, what's happening? Stay back, I said. Through the peephole, I could see Maya's face, red, tear-stained, mascara running. She looked deranged. You ruined my life, she screamed. Derek left me. I have nothing. This is your fault. 2 police officers arrived at 7:34 p.m. Officer Maria Santos, 12 years on the force, and Officer James Park, 8 years, came up the stairs. Maya was still in the hallway, surrounded by broken cookies, mascara running down her face, still holding 1 cookie ready to throw. Ma'am, drop the cookie, Officer Santos said. Maya looked at the cookie in her hand, at the police, at my door. She threw it at Officer Santos. It hit her vest, broke apart. Okay, turn around, hands behind your back. I didn't do anything wrong. They arrested her at 7:39 p.m., cuffed her right there in the hallway, surrounded by broken gingerbread. Officer Santos recognized her name from the system. You have an active restraining order. You're not supposed to be within 100 yards of this residence. He's my boyfriend! Ma'am, you're under arrest for violating a protective order. They walked her out in cuffs. She was crying, screaming my name, saying she loved me. Rachel stood in my doorway watching it all. That was her? Yeah, she seems stable. I laughed. Couldn't help it. Sorry you had to see that. Are you kidding? That was the most entertaining Tuesday I've had in months. Maya was charged with violating a restraining order. Second offense. The first being the drunken 2 a.m. incident. Judge Patricia Morrison, family court, 19 years on the bench, was not sympathetic. Ms. Cooper, you violated a court order. Not once, but twice. You showed up at Mr. Mitchell's residence after being explicitly ordered to stay away. You became violent. You threw objects at police officers. What do you have to say for yourself? I was trying to apologize. By assaulting people with baked goods? They were cookies. They were weapons. Ms. Cooper, I'm sentencing you to 30 days in county jail, followed by 2 years probation. If you violate the terms of your probation or come within 500 yards of Mr. Mitchell, I will extend your sentence. Maya served 27 days, got out early for good behavior. I never heard from her again. Last Christmas, exactly 1 year after the proposal, Rachel and I spent it at my parents' house. Same dining room, same table, same people, but everything was different. We had prime rib again, Mom's famous recipe. Natalie brought pie. Marcus showed off photos from his new job. After dinner, my dad stood up with his wine glass. I want to make a toast, he said. Last Christmas was difficult. We witnessed something painful, but this year, I'm grateful. Grateful that Ryan found someone who truly appreciates him, someone who treats him with respect and kindness. Welcome to the family, Rachel. Everyone raised their glasses. Rachel squeezed my hand under the table. Later that night, driving home, she said, your family is really sweet. They're okay. Your dad's toast was nice, about appreciating you. Yeah, for the record, she said, I do. Appreciate you. I know. And when you're ready to propose, whenever that is, I won't spit in your face. I laughed, setting the bar pretty high there. I set the bar at human decency. You can clear that easily. 2 years later, I proposed to Rachel. Not on Christmas, not at my parents' house, just us, on a hiking trail. No audience, no pressure. I'd saved for 8 months. Bought a ring from Henry Bennett again. Different style, better stone, more expensive. Rachel, I love you. You make me better. You make me happy. Will you marry me? She said yes, immediately. Kissed me, cried, put the ring on. It's beautiful, she said. It's not 3 carats. I don't care about carats, I care about you. We got married 6 months later. Small ceremony, family and close friends. My dad gave another toast about how grateful he was that I found someone who appreciated me. Sometimes I think about that Christmas, the spit, the humiliation, the ring I spent 3 months saving for that Maya called pathetic, and I realize it was the best thing that ever happened to me because it showed me who she really was before I married her, before we had kids, before I wasted more years. Getting spat on during a Christmas proposal destroyed me for months, but it also freed me to find someone who actually loved me. Best bullet I ever dodged.